하고픈 말이 있어 외로워 보이는 너 날 닮은 네가 있어 한 걸음씩 거리 좁혀
Hello, my name is Demi. This is episode 2 of 11teen, or i.e. This is what life is, before I turn 20. I'm recording today because I really want to talk about all of the milestones that are happening in my life. I have exactly 1 month till I turn 20.
19 is you 지금 이 순간이야 시작은 일단 단 하나뿐인 열쇠는 너에게 있는 걸 Got you 더 이상은 19
Anywho, right now I'm in a stage of life where I'm unemployed, and it's not like a bad thing necessarily because I'm waiting for school to start and I just finished an internship. Yay, Demi. I'm just a little discouraged. I think it's because this happens to me like multiple times a year where I don't have something active that I'm doing, and so I have notes down here that I'm looking at. But I had this realization that my emotions are really volatile when I'm like, my calendar's not stuffed, and my calendar not stuffed, or my calendar being stuffed usually prevents me from feeling like the sway of range of emotions that I have so deeply in one day. Like, positive reminders aren't really the only things that help with that, but they have to be self-motivated 70% of the time. What I mean by that is when someone else says to me like, oh, don't be discouraged, XYZ reason, it works 50-50, like, but even if it works, it doesn't stick with me sometimes. But when I read the Bible, or when I go on Google and like search up a sermon, or like I ask someone a question, like a specific question about why I'm feeling so demotivated and lazy, the answer tends to stick with me more, I think, because it's like, even if I'm feeling crappy, actively seeking a resource to help has some type of effect. I've been trying to read the Bible more. I'm in 2nd Peter, and it's like very, like the New Testament is, it's very theological almost, like it applies to people living life, i.e. everyone, including almost 20-year-olds. And I was realizing that there's this verse about holding your thoughts captive and like renewing your mind to not conforming to the world. That's really, really, really hard, because unless you wake up in a good mood and you just like intentionally keep that good mood going, it's difficult, bro. It's difficult. I also want to talk about like, I have this sense of like earning my worth, which is like, I know not biblical, and this sense that like, oh, I got an internship, I'm at least a half decent college student, or oh, I don't have a GPA that will disqualify me from decent scholarships, I'm at least worth something. Like, that's a really toxic mindset, but I don't really know how to undo it, because that's how the world is built, and as much as Christians I know we're not supposed to encode ourselves to that, it's difficult, because I don't know, God runs the world, but in our society Christians don't always run the world. And it's also weird because I'm in like a suburban southern town, so it's like to some extent they do sometimes, but it's also like, what life do I want? Do I want what the suburban Christian leaders that I'm seeing live? Do I want that life? I don't know. I don't think so. That's why I want to like study abroad and travel. I want to have a global impact, but the thing is, start small. Like, I should work on having an impact here before I go across the world to do that. I should like believe in God and trust in Him for that much. Anywho, I'll read this verse to end it off. As His divine power has given to us all things that pertain to life and godliness, through the knowledge of Him who called us by glory and virtue.
Oops.
back. My video cut off last time, and also I was feeling really down that day, so I wanted to finish my video by sharing some things that I learned in New York. And to start off with, we got to speak to a really decorated director. I have a box here. You can see there's like foam peanuts. You don't know what's in it, but I know what's in it. And you want to know what's in it very badly. And it's kind of like mysterious, like low-key, this can like save the world. Like you kind of need to know what's in here. But I'm kind of like, well, in order for you to know what's in here, I'm gonna need the answer to life, $100 million, and I don't know, a lot of other stuff. Maybe like 10, maybe a lifetime supply of papers, like those. But the point is that your box, in this case, there's actually something interesting in this box. I haven't opened it yet myself, but I know that it's a mug from the Kelly and Mark show, and a story that I do not want to tell. But essentially, I went to the live taping, and for some unshared reason, which I will not be sharing, they gave me a mug for free. So there's our mug. And no, a mug is not the answer to the world. But maybe I'll start my own talk show. Thank you, Miss Kelly and Mr. Mark. Anywho. Okay, let me think about it more succinctly. Point number 2 is about control. I think that, to some extent, a lot of us crave control. Even if we've come to terms with the fact that we can only control ourselves, our actions, and our reactions, and like we can't control others, we still crave control to that extent. We want to be in complete control of ourselves and be disciplined and be masterful and, you know, be enthusiastic when appropriate and all of these other things. And so I think that led me to this dangerous thing of craving isolation a little bit, because I easily get overwhelmed when I have a lot of sensory inputs, whether that's like important people talking around me, like people I care about and I want to listen to them, you know, a lot of rain and music and noise while I'm running or driving or trying to do some other task and multitasking. Like, a large number of sensory inputs makes me feel like I'm losing control. Because even if I'm still controlling myself, I'm starting to get confused and distracted by all of the noise around me. And so I felt that way a lot, not while walking in the city, but while in my workplace, just because there was a lot of people on my floor. And it was hard sometimes to get my bearings and be like, I need to work on XYZ thing right now, and I can talk to this person later. Or they're having a conversation that may be interesting, but I don't need to go join that conversation. Or on the other hand, go join that conversation and be fully a part of it. Don't just sit here and try to work while listening to that. So I think that led me to wanting to be alone a lot more and recharge in that, you know, classic introvert sense, but also just to like draw away and kind of just be like, I'm the only one I can control, so let me just be alone and let me just, you know, work on my laptop. And that was really not healthy, because obviously you need community to be a successful person, and also to like connect with others and like almost like recharge in some way as well, because you want to share the things that you've created in order to get feedback, improve, and then continue creating. So that was point number 2. Point number 1 was mystery box. Point number 2 is that craving control can sometimes lead to dangerous isolation, and instead I should crave community in a sustainable way. So those are the 2 things that stood out to me from my time in New York. And now that I'm back in my southern suburban town, I am trying to channel my passion into using those things. Thanks for listening.